Hi, I'm your DM Bjorn Anders, and unfortunately, in this episode, we ran into an audio issue. When we switched over to the battle cam for the combat encounter, it turns out it killed our audio recording, and so nothing was actually picked up during that segment. Everything I narrated and everything our players said, unfortunately, was never picked up. So instead, when it reaches that portion of the episode, you'll hear some narration describing what took place in that battle, so you're not just watching the screen, completely lost. We've learned from this. We think we've completely fixed the problem, so it won't come up in future episodes. If you're watching this, we want to say thank you so much for being part of this journey for us. We are loving this story and we're loving sharing it with you. So, without further ado, please sit back, enjoy the story, and let's see what chaos awaits.
Hello once again, as we continue with our ever-going campaign. As always, I am your Dungeon Master, Bjorn Anders. Say hello, everyone.
Hello,
everyone. This episode's not brought to you by Liquid Death, though if they do want to sponsor us, they can. I'll be wearing my Liquid Death hoodie for as many episodes as it's clean. And when you see this silvery cup in my hand, it is probably filled with Liquid Death sparkling water. I mention this because they're awesome and they like to repost people's stuff. So this is a pointless shill for something I like. I won't lie.
Not a sponsor.
No.
Yet?
It's not a sponsor unless they really want to be. And if Liquid Death, if you want to sponsor us, I will drink your water during everything ever I do in my life. In fact, yeah.
I mean, it's a base threat, like you already do.
As a matter of fact, I'm putting this on record.
Liquid Death, folks.
I will go to. I was about to say someone's funeral. I won't do that. But I would go to a wedding of someone I do not know and try and get in with Liquid Death in my hand. So
there's so much in me that wants to cut this, but I'm not going to.
Don't cut this. Don't cut this. This is out there. They already own my soul. I signed the document. All that said, you all had recently left one of the most significant towns within the Vagabond assemblage, Ruby's Crossing, as you traveled with Gandos the Magnificent, who is likely to be the best NPC of this campaign. Love him.
Notice how the table is very split.
There's a hard divide on Gandos, baby. Oh, man. But you traveled to the Shimmerstone Mine. As you had heard, there were odd things happening here. And you met up with some compatriots of Garnet's. Most notably, Zedri the Exalted, who lets you know they found a severed hand, which they believed to belong to Garnet's longtime friend and somewhat an idol of hers, the adventurer named Hamir. A map was drawn out for you for some of the interior of the mine where Hamir's traveling compatriots had explored so far, and you decided to head down in there. They showed a certain point where it branched into left and right corridors, and it was decided you all would take the left corridor, and when they got down there, they would take the right, and at some point you would reconvene, see who and what you found. While lurking down here, Manix was quite vocal upon seeing Reba use her eyes from the grave power about what her eyes did, and this stony tendril lashed out and wrapped around him, and you were engaged in a battle with a roper. This battle won. You have begun to descend further downward into the mines. At this point, going off the map you've been given. This is further down than you've ever been. Garnet, you know these mines do run deep. No, this is not a Moria reference. And whatever is down here is down here. So as you proceed forward, are you all in the same marching order as you were before?
Probably.
Did you want to take the front?
Yeah. I'm so happy in the front, so.
I'll stick to the back this time.
Okay.
And I will.
Still in the middle.
the moisture on my glass.
From
This condensation brought to you by Liquid Death.
That is how powerful liquid death is. It pulls your cup holder
I
right
can't
out of the
with y'all.
table. This makes me happy.
you know, I would love to be proven wrong on this. I'll just mention.
Yeah, I can.
If that works, I think all of us are going to be the next week be like, so I enjoy Diet Coke.
I'm at least glad that your dog understands.
Oh man.
This week, D&D is not brought to you by McDonald's. Ba, 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 ba.
God.
But it sure could be.
But it sure could be.
If you want to write the check, you can sponsor us.
So what's going on?
I'm first of all,
you.
Shilling.
getting into order.
I'm asking you all. So it sounds like you are.
Where in the middle?
Yes. So
And I will turn to Mannix and just go, listen, be very, very quiet. We are hunting wopers.
wow.
Can I make a medicine check?
feeling
Did you
okay?
get like some numbing?
What are you talking about?
Bite your tongue.
So
No, it's just wopers.
so up front we have Siobhan and Pohaku. It's
No.
Or Shavana and
Me.
yeah. Okay. So Pohaku's no longer.
I'm taking the back now.
You're taking the back. Who is taking the rear along with Pohaku?
Ew.
I'll be back there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Pohaku and Kira are our rear boys. We have
What's that? This is that.
yeah, okay. It's there. It's there. Two up front, and then right in the middle we have Garnet and Mannix.
This is the thing.
So descending further down into the mine, you can feel the air growing a little warmer around you. Not uncomfortably warm. It's just down here. It's underground. It's insulated, and the air gets very stagnant. I don't know if you've ever breathed in warm, stagnant air, but the air just kind of feels a little thick around you.
We're in Seattle, so not here, but
So
some
it's
people do.
a little uncomfortable, but you're fine for now as you descend. And you two in the lead, you may each give me a survival check, or one of you may assist to give the other one a survival check with advantage.
So my survival is +4.
I'll assist you.
Yep.
Fantastic.
So Reba, you may make a survival check with advantage.
All right. So that is going to be a 21.
Come on. So as you descend, you reach this circular opening where the paths split off into 4 directions. And you have this brief moment of sort of analysis paralysis as all these options are open before you. And you just hold a hand back to your compatriots as you kind of stop and listen. And what you end up... I appreciate you. I appreciate the
Main
commitment.
character.
Of these 4 paths, 2 of them are dead silent, and you're listening for any movement in air, anything that may sound like wind, for lack of a better term. And so there, this is a 5 spiral. It's imagine sort of shaped like a star. So there are 2 in front of you, 2 back behind you, and then due south of you is where you came from. The 2 behind you are dead silent. You don't hear anything. Of the 2 ahead of you, one of them you just have this very light, it basically sounds like a light breeze. And the other one is almost like a more tumultuous wind. Like it kind of sounds like, if I say sort of a whipping wind, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. A gale, if you will.
yeah, very Dorothy in that direction.
Grand.
So-
Okay.
Hello, doggy. There's a dog at my feet. It's wonderful. I'm very sorry that you all can't see him.
We should just take a moment.
There'll be, at some point we will. He'll get to a point where we can. And
And we are trying to head towards the wind, just to clarify.
I mean, over here, as you see
There
in
we
the
go.
arms of Phoenix, this is Commander Shepard. This is the wonderful, wonderful doggo. If you have not met this dog, which if you're watching this, you probably haven't, he's wonderful. We all love him. And As you can see,
That's
He-
it.
he-
That's our new logo. It's
he's
just
a
an
good-
oil painting of.
This episode brought to you by Commander Shepard.
yes, please.
This is Commander Shepard's favorite shop on the Citadel.
Jennifer Hale, if you somehow happen to be watching, I love you.
No, Jennifer, if there's a, we all love you. You are a just
And
shining example of what voice acting can be.
and Mark, looking forward to seeing you at D&D in a castle in October.
See, this whole show is just for us to reach out and hope that celebrities that we love will pay attention to us.
Exactly.
Big fan of Brother Uriah.
Exactly. It's just celebrities you love. So Danhausen, if you're watching. Very nice. Very evil. Anyhow,
Yeah, where were we?
you were listening for as the wind. So the ones where you're not hearing any wind, to you that tells you that would be a.
That's gonna go deeper, right?
It would go
Delve.
deeper, but it sounds like it would cut off somewhere where you don't think that path would go down too terribly long before it
Okay.
reached an end. Whereas the other ones, as they're going down, there's probably more beyond that.
Okay.
So it's up to you what you want to do with this information. Of the ones ahead of you, the left is the more even wind. The right is the one that sounds more like a very, very tiny, almost relaxed gale. The wind is a little more exciting. This kind of that you hear down the left.
Seeing you pause, Pohaku will make his way to the front with Pueo on his shoulder and just ask, if you're not sure, I can ask my friend here to go take a peek.
Oh, sure. My instinct would be, my instinct would be to investigate the heavier winds. If you want to send your friend down that way and see if that seems like a good bet.
Hello? Is that how you? Oh,
Pueo,
Pueo.
Wait,
who are you?
wait.
which is actually a
Yo.
species of Hawaiian.
Yep.
If you want to send Puyo down to check out maybe that more tumultuous gale force tunnel.
Certainly.
I'll send Umani along as well. Yeah.
Do you
Might
want
as
to
well
send?
pair in a team of two. Like.
Do you want to send the Mbani?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to send Mbani to check out one of the other tunnels and split them up?
Yeah.
or-
Which one are you most curious
Well, it
about?
seems like these two are going to be more of dead ends, so I don't think we're going to have much less there. Maybe just check out this softly windy one.
Okay. I'll send Umani through the.
And so Pueo is going to go down the right one where it's a little more tumultuous. So going with Umbani first, as flying down, you looking through the vision of your familiar, you see as well. Does your familiar have dark vision?
Nope. But yeah,
Flies into, flies
I was gonna say I was gonna send a globe of light along with as far as the dancing lights can go.
Okay, how far are you dancing? Let's go.
I
Stop hitting yourself.
don't think it's all that far. I think it's only like 60 or 120.
If it's 120, that'll be pretty good.
120.
Okay, 120. Okay, ignore the previous. Okay, send a blind ass bird down this. Whap, 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 whap.
Probably cut half of this, frankly.
No,
No.
cut nothing.
Take two.
So,
Nah.
following this globule down there, it opens up into this sort of long, almost hallway of a cavern. Down the line, you can see where there's another opening that goes deeper. There's not really anything here interesting of note. It's just a large
just
open expanse, very similar actually to where you were before when
we
you
fought the
encountered the
rope,
ropers. This is just an area that's clearly been excavated to sort of expand and then going forward. How about Pueo? How are we doing there with that?
He's got 120 feet of dark vision.
Love it. So everything is in just very muted shades of gray because he's looking around at some real dark ass stuff. Can you give me a perception check?
Not great. That's 12, or yeah, 12. He has a passive of 13.
Okay. Passive, I would have more if there were like predators trying to reach out and attack. That's more your sixth sense. This is just looking about. So this opens up into a rather large area here, and you can see where this has been dug well. It goes deeper from here, and you can tell quickly that's where a lot of the wind sounds are coming from, is from up to a chasm below. It's dark down there. There's no way you / Pueo can see downward that far, and the wind rising up, it does make it hard to try and like dive down and look any deeper, but you do see a pair of humanoid individuals that seem to be in this area. They're in conversation.
Okay. I am.
One of them is wearing robes you would associate with a mage. The other one has some just very simple metallic armor and a pole arm in their hand.
Okay. I will mentally tell Pueo, stay back, stay out of sight, come back to my own vision, and turn to Garnet. Pueo was able to see a couple of people there. Anyone you know of, and I'll do my best to describe, polearm, caster.
Nothing that resonates with you at all.
Doesn't sound like a miner or someone who would be down here, yeah?
Yeah, probably not. I'm gonna have him come on back.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening down there, but there's at least a couple of people. Don't seem much like miners.
Yeah. Well, it's more than Bonnie found. Bonnie found a big old empty room.
This was
There was a passageway at the far end of it that
Yeah.
clearly went down, but that was sort of at the
Edge of the
where,
light.
where light would go, and so Bonnie is not going much further than that.
Yeah.
All right. So in that case, I vote we go check out those folk. Did they seem suspicious?
I didn't want him getting close enough to find out.
That's
Once
fair.
I saw the polearm and robes,
There
didn't seem like
was-
proper mining attire.
Oh, hey, did they seem like census guys?
I did not see them.
Give me an investigation check.
Ooh.
We're gonna see
Or like
how-
you were also like describing them to Garnet.
Natural
Maybe you
20.
could.
22.
So you describe just these are things that Pueo was just barely able to see. Just a simple symbol that was on the armor of the one with the polearm, and just the way that one of the epaulets was designed. And then as Pueo was flying up and out, there was this insignia on the back of the robes. And you, Kira, as you hear this described, you're going, yeah, it sounds like they're likely newly brought up members of the census, higher in the food chain where you would be, but it's like step one after where
But, like,
you are.
They're only hired because taking down Timigar hasn't been reported yet.
Correct. They are official members where you are not an official
Yes.
member yet. You are in training.
Right.
So you're going, yeah, that's who they're with.
Well, should we go up and let you talk to them?
Yeah, we just
Or you would just cause a cave-in.
I'm sorry. What?
now
No, nothing.
I can't officially condone that, but yeah, do what you do. They're not my squad.
I'm sorry. What?
What do you do? Port in your 20th level druid?
But I'll go talk to them.
Can I?
The mold are very. They're slowly going to get buried as long as they don't move.
They're going to stay there because they're an NPC in an old 8-bit video game.
That's right. Just stay there. I'm just
Just
gonna
idle animation.
ignore these 5-foot cubes of earth that are being piled on top of you. Just ignore it. Go sleep.
But I can, if we want, I can go talk to them and try and get a lowdown on at least what they know.
So you guys all gonna head down that way, or are you just gonna say
Should we
Kira
go
on
with?
his onesies?
I
It's
mean,
better handled by yourself.
I
It would be weird if you're by yourself.
maybe just like
Maybe just
Manix
you.
and I.
Yeah. I would prefer not to interact with
Yeah.
them.
Can we keep eyes on them with the goddamn it again?
Pueo.
No. This is a
Bonnie?
character.
Okay, sorry.
Well, perhaps perhaps Pueo can accompany as
Yeah.
more familiar.
And I can leave. Yeah, and I can leave Umbani behind. And if anyone, they're not gonna know.
Okay. So I'll send Pueo onto Kira's shoulder.
Cool. So the pathway that leads down into this next area, it's about a 60-foot decline.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's maybe about 60 feet.
Okay.
And the rest of you, you're staying in this upper area before the decline begins. And these two are going down with taking Pueo with. And are you doing your vision through Pueo?
I am.
Love it. Okay.
He's got his hand on my shoulder, head, whatever. So-
Perfect.
All right, wait, one last thing.
Yeah.
Before you head down, I'm going to cast Warding Bond on you.
Oh,
Nice.
You.
Goes around, comes around, you know?
Fair enough.
What is a campaign one reference
Yep.
where we had a fighter who used a spell that was not needed on a moon?
I had so much HP all the time.
Yep.
yeah.
But my character cared about you, so we cast it. Yeah.
Use 1%, I think.
It just wiggled and none
Okay.
of the okay, that's stone up there. And if I
Yeah.
So-
So we head down.
cool. So you two go down this declining set. It's about 60 feet. It's fairly steep, but not so much that you need like a dex save for your footing.
All right.
As long as you're just aware about where you're stepping, it's fine. And you come into this large expanse type area. In fact,
Oh.
That's not.
Nope. It's not ominous at all.
did you guys move those minis up there?
You know, if we don't, we can't put the map down.
Then we'll just describe.
It's at this point where the audio went out. So, laying down the map so they can all see what lies before them. This chasm you now see before you. They're nervous, as all players are wont to be. So as it's being described, this is a chasm where the wind is whipping upward. They've seen two humanoid individuals down here. Reba is reminding Kira that Warding Bond has been cast. And here towards the center, they're seeing two individuals, the aforementioned mage-looking individual, and then another wearing much more heavy type armor with a pole arm. Here they are, pandering to the camera, very much busting my chops, as they enjoy to do, as I let them know, of course, I may or may not kill them this time. So in the upper left corner of the map, you see Kirazura and Manik's soul entering. On Kira's shoulder is the familiar of Pohaku Kahu, Pueo. And they are entering, keeping a decent distance between these individuals. One of them I'm mentioning here is quite heavily armored. You can see that he's half orc and clears to be the leader of the two, calling out to them, "Who there? Who are you?" Or some such on the matter. And this is the point where we finally decided what the census salute is. The right fist to the left breast, as it had been done many times over, though I think Phoenix may be onto something by going with the Hail Scroob from Spaceballs. Maybe we'll retcon that. And so here these two census members are curious why these folks are traveling down here in the mine. And Kirazura has introduced himself, and this half-orc soldier is asking, "Who do you travel with, Kirazura?" And Kira is now introducing the fact that his traveling companion is a member of nobility from the Thanomirian Empire. Noble doesn't do a whole lot for our grumpy individuals here, so they're asking if there's some sort of name. And now it's mentioned that this is Manix of the House of Soul. And as the words House of Soul leave Kira's lips, there's a reaction. And I'm having him make an intimidation check here which he did okay on. But as he said House of Soul, these two burst out in laughter, saying the esteemed House of Soul, as Kira had referred to it, it was just recently raided by the Empire for reasons currently unknown. So Kira and Mannix are finding out. You can see the look of shock on Jamie Siobhan's face, that the House of Soul is not in the best standing with the Empire at the moment. And obviously none of them know why. The reactions on Jamie's face, I do believe, are half the reason to watch our campaign, as she is always invested in the story. It's also where they're finding out there is more to this mine than meets the eye. I mean, they had that expectation. Fun fact, it can be difficult to read your own lips sometimes. But here the soldiers have just informed these two that they are outnumbered, is the way he put it. And Siobhan here, likely hearing this being relayed through Pohaku, she would have her proverbial bucket of popcorn, and then hearing that trouble may be a brewing, as she's begun to take a bit of a liking, or at least appreciation, to Kira, she's ready to make her way down that corridor to engage in any violence that may or may not occur. Soldiers informing Kira and Mannix that they seem like individuals who don't know their place. And so here explaining to the players exactly what the distance down the passageway from the upper level where Reba, Pohaku, Garnet, and Siobhan still are, letting them know the distance on everything, finding out who is heading down to engage. And Casey, who is our cleric Reba, as Casey is known to do, is looking quite in detail on a spell that she has ideas on. What she was asking here about was the idea of holding a spell, like a held action, and rules is written in 5th edition, which this is one of the rules I do use as written. If you hold a spell, it's only for that turn. That is your action to hold it. So if the trigger doesn't come up, the spell slot would be used. So it's one of those things where you can't just hold something ad infinitum to see if and when you cast it. So coming into a moment where you're knowing what you want to cast can be great. But yeah, this notion of just holding it and keeping the spell slot wouldn't work. So Reba is not going forth of charging up a spell slot, as those are precious. And they've already had quite a rough encounter shortly before this, where they dealt with Roper, that being the other time our audio went out, and having to describe through that. And we'll add, you only have a few more minutes of listening to audio, as we did have a video issue come up in a little bit, which thankfully knocked out the battle cam and brought our audio back. So, blessings in disguise. And Kira has decided he's none too fond of these individuals and the way they're running their mouths. And he's pretty ready to do something about it, if need be. The others concocting a bit of a plan to decide if they need to come below sooner, later, or wait it out. Because they can see, well, Pohaku can see through his familiar Pueo, which is on the shoulder of Kira. So, really smart scouting strategy that they used. Garnet realizing it would take her 2 rounds to get down there because she has shorter legs, lesser movement speed, so she can't get down there quite as fast as everyone else. At this point, the 2 individuals are ready for combat, and everyone must roll initiative. Siobhan, doing quite well on her initiative roll, is very, very pleased of that. Sometimes we get great rolls from... I'm guessing Reba's coming up the rear here by the look on her face, but we're seeing a lot of excitement. This is one of those rare times when most of them roll quite well. So nobody of 20 to 15. Now we're at 15 to 10. There's where Pohaku comes in, using the 5 increments thereof to get everybody in initiative. Generally goes faster for me of writing everything down. The fun part of being a DM, having things that they're just not ready for. And I believe that was all of them. So the mage going up first, it appears, having rolled incredibly well. First description of a move is going to Kira here, who is charging up. He's playing a sorcerer, yet he's doing this largely as a spell sword, taking a feat where he can cast range spells in melee, that being an issue, and he's prepped his sword at the ready. He's full on set for a little dueling here. So Siobhan up next. It looks like she's just using her turn to come charging down the corridor and join her allies in the fray. Important to get your barbarian up in the mix as soon as possible. That being her entire turn. Not a lot to be done. Not a lot of excitement happening quite yet. But far from everything and ready for what happens next. Looks like next turn in the order coming to Reba. Or it was just Casey running her mouth, which is entirely possible, and nothing wrong with that as well. Yeah, Reba coming in next here. Curious what she cast. Couldn't quite read her lips. I'm seeing a ring around here. Possibly a bless spell. I know she cast that during this battle at some point. Always useful. If it wasn't bless, it may have been invisibility to go sneak down there. Though she's a cleric, she probably doesn't have invisibility. I don't have her character sheet in front of me at the moment. Apologies. And enough movement to almost get down there. Seeing the mini on the far left side, just off of the map. Counting out range. Yeah, I'm guessing it is a blessed spell. She'll probably try and get down there to assist Siobhan and Kira. It's ideal that you don't let your allies die too quickly. And I appreciate this. Players always trying to make sure they use action movement bonus action every turn, if possible. And discussing holding action here, where you can't really hold your movement. Like, you can't hold dash on that. Well, At least I don't usually allow it. But Reba is able to get almost up to the action, because a bonus action can't be held. But we have the Bless as well on Kira, who's up there in the mix of things. At this point, everything starts rumbling all around them, and rocks are kind of falling as something's happening in this mine. They had heard previously that there had been these loud rumbling sounds, and those who had seen something had ran away, terrified. No one's quite sure what, but could this be a precursor of things to come within the Shimmerstone mine? DM checking his notes and stats there off the side. And here the mage casts a little spell. Casts a little magic missile. And what pleases me greatly here is hits two of them and takes out the familiar. Because mages know how useful familiars can be in combat. And I have 2 players with familiars, and they've been using them quite well. I won't lie, I really enjoyed casting this magic missile right here, as it took that familiar out of combat, and I knew it's not something they could easily bring back in combat. And I figured a mage would be smart enough to know that as well. This mage did have Find Familiar on their sheet, but I decided this wasn't one that would likely travel around with Familiar at all times. This is where the armored half-orc comes charging up to Kira, who used his held action to swing and blocked it with his shield. So this half-orc sort of fighting with a shield and spear, polearm type thing. But this is where the audio ends, and we'll bring you to the actual audio to follow. Thank you.
Okay, technical issues aside, our battle cam is gone, but we'll just deal with that. Sorry to you viewers. So it had just this melee combatant had just failed the wisdom save against you, Reba. Go ahead and give that D8 damage. 1d8 damage. What's your roll?
2.
2. So you use your Toll the Dead, causing 2 points of damage. But now is going to take a big old swing at you, Karazra.
Good luck.
Yeah.
At that point.
Okay.
Do you know how much like extra AC you have?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You had already cast Shield.
Yep.
So you have +5 from that. Plus 2 from Shield of Faith.
Yep.
So +7 on all of
Plus
that.
1 from Warding Bond, please.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to guess a 17 doesn't hit.
Nope, it sure doesn't.
So it just swings it with
Out of
bounces
curiosity,
off all this arcane energy.
Let's see.
No such luck. That is going to bring it to Mannix. You are up. Pohaku, you are on deck.
Oh, can we just retcon slightly that I communicated what was going on back to,
I imagine you did.
74.
So yeah, Mannix, you're up.
So we've got a mage and
Oh, I saw something.
Big fighty boy.
big fighty boy.
Yep.
All right.
fair enough.
And you are 60 feet from getting down here. So to get down to this area, it would cost you your movement, and you have to do
Oh
an
no,
action
Manix
to
was
get-
Manix was
Oh, Mannix is down. Never
Yeah.
mind. Yes. It's weird. I can't. The battle cam is down. Spare. That means I can't see the map either.
Let's take a little look. See.
Sometimes the struggle is real.
Sometimes, oftentimes.
You're not wrong.
Let's just Eldritch Blast.
Who you gonna Eldritch Blast?
Sassy Mouth Mage.
Mage. All right, make an attack roll.
15.
15 is going to put up shield and just deflect it as has no interest in being hit by your Eldritch Blast. It's going to
I mean, why
burn
not? She doesn't know what it feels
that
like.
spell slot.
It might
Gotta
be-
feel it
might-
once.
Might be fun.
It'd be fun.
You get the sense that
Oh, yeah.
she barely saved herself from your Eldritch Blast with that shield.
Just gives her a look and shakes his head.
Alrighty. Anything for your movement?
Nope.
Okay. Oahu, you are up. Garnet, you are on deck.
So 30 feet gets me how far away?
30 feet would get you halfway down the passageway, because the passageway is 60 feet long.
So it would be basically another 30 feet to get to the map.
Correct.
Do
And
I
from
have-
up in the passageway, you have no line of sight on
That was my
anyone.
next question. Okay.
It's like I said, it was a fairly steep incline. Not so much that you can't keep your footing, without a say, but steep enough that you can't see anything until you get to the bottom of it.
So yeah, he starts walking, following. Suddenly, his vision, which was through Pueo's eyes, is shot back into his own view, and he just kind of pauses for a moment. Pueo, son of a. And,
Got my hair.
so
With Umbani on your
Oh,
shoulder.
there you go. Yeah, he'll go ahead. He'll take the dash action.
Yep.
So you'd get to
And
Here?
with
Yep.
that, he's going. You told Mannix to shut up earlier. Pohaku's having none of it this time. So he gets to the edge there. You shot my bird! And he just slams his hands down with a bonus action. Wait, shit, no, it's a bonus action to do that later. It's an action to cast. He does not do that.
Okay.
He gets ready to do that next time.
Love it.
And throw my dog in the fire.
Garnet, you are up as everyone goes
Initial cast is the action.
dashy McDashy dash down the pathway. Kira, you're on deck.
My legs are smaller,
They are.
so with a bonus action dash, I can get 50 feet.
You can. You are still 10 feet away from the lip of this thing.
where's our Garnet mini?
Oh, she is.
Oh,
You're still 10 feet away. And
So,
even as short as you are, you can't quite see.
So I can go another 25 feet with my action.
Yeah.
I want to be within 60 feet of the mage if possible.
Okay, let's see here.
so you'd have another.
We're looking at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Yeah, you could get there.
You just barely get
You
there.
can just get there.
I'm there.
Love it.
It is a bonus action to cast. So yes,
Do
he
it.
does do it.
What do you cast?
So he is casting Yggdrasil's Rebuke. He just slams his hands down into the ground, and they come up covered in those same vines. He just kind of puts himself into a ready pose.
All right. That is going to bring it to Siobhan. Reba, you are on deck.
Wait, what?
Oh, I'm sorry, Kira. I still read Kira.
Yeah.
I was Kira, you're up. Siobhan, you're on deck.
Okay.
I'll just. I said this would only be us, but since y'all already broke the rules of this duel, and I'm gonna slash him again,
All right, make a tackle.
and that is a 25.
That will definitely
It's a
hit.
hit.
Give me damage.
3, 4, 5, 6, I think. Let me. Oh no, more than that. 7.
Woo!
7 points of damage.
So you go and you stab your short sword into the side of this armored combatant as it just breaks off a bottom part of his shield. Your sword being magical, able to just break off a small part of this metallic shield. And you, as the blade draws out, you see his blood just get drawn into the sword. No blood seeping out of the wound where you stabbed him.
And I'll
He's
just
still
think to the
very
sword,
hurting.
"You're goddamn welcome."
I want a life. I want a life.
Yeah, good luck with that. You'll get blood for now.
Feed me, Seymour.
Anything else for your turn?
Does there have to be blood?
I will. I'll use my. If you'll let me, I'll use my bonus action to command Umbani to move his full flight speed up to me.
Love it. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yep.
Does it say heartbroken?
Say fucking furious.
We got barbarian rage all of a
All right. That means Siobhan, you are up. Reba, you're on deck.
Okay, how far am I from Battle of the Fates here?
Where? So you are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You'd be 10 feet away from him if you moved right there or there. Either one of those, you'd be 10 feet away.
Could I use my full movement and bonus action dash to run past them? Is there enough room?
You don't have bonus action dash because you're not a rogue. Only rogues get that. That's kind
Yep.
of,
Not
Use
bonus
your
action, I'm sorry.
regular action dash.
Yeah.
you can't. You would provoke an opportunity attack from the other individual.
I wish the motherfucker would.
So you're gonna run past
Yep.
up to the mage.
Yep.
So 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, he is going to take an opportunity attack on you.
I don't suppose there's any way I can fucking tackle her at the end of that.
No, you would not be able to.
Do not have bull
Are you doing
rush.
anything with your bonus action during all of this? Are you raging or anything? Because you know you're going to get attacked.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
rage.
Bonus action rage. That is a. Ooh, that's a good roll. Let's see here.
Rude.
That is an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, so you will take 9 points of slashing damage, halved to 4, as this blade cuts down into your flesh. But that is movement, action, bonus action. As you get all the way up to this spellcaster, Reba, you are up next.
Grand. I'm gonna step closer. I think. Just going to go. 5, 5, 30. And that's my full range of movement.
Love
there.
it.
And then I'm going to do a cantrip.
It's the cantrip on.
I am not within 60 feet of the mage, so the cantrip's going to be on the orc guy again.
Cool.
I'm just gonna do.
If you're there, you're within 60 feet of the mage.
Am I?
was within 60 feet of the mage.
Yeah.
Right here. 5,
Yeah, that's
10,
within
15,
60.
20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Yeah.
Never mind. I never count the.
Laser pointers are your friends.
That is. Thank you. In that case, I'm gonna go ahead and do
Don't.
sacred.
There aren't any airplanes up there.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Also, don't point it at
Just give me damage.
Great. Well, that's a 1
All right, so 1 point of
radiant damage.
Either your bonus action on your turn.
There's not anything I am willing to expend a spell slot on.
Cool. This is what's about to happen. I guess the battle cam's not working right now. All of a sudden, from above, boosh,
Oh, damn.
landing here.
What is that?
It's Uncle Charles.
I'm with my Uncle Charles, y'all.
This will catch Reba, Garnet, Pohaku, Mannix as this very just like stony scaled tiny dragon boosh busts down from above, lands. I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Fantastic.
Just them?
Those 4.
Yeah, is this a magical effect?
It's a breath weapon.
Oh. The fuck?
Ah,
Oh no.
This is called nightmare breath.
Oh no.
I did not.
I also did not.
DC is 14. Who got a 14 or higher? 19. Did you get Reba?
10.
10. Alrighty. So,
Wait, I got 12. Fuck.
We made mistakes.
so everyone who failed takes 22 points of psychic damage. If you succeeded, that's halves to 11 points of psychic damage. And if you failed, you are currently frightened of the dragon.
Ha! I'm not frightened. I'm unconscious.
Still conscious.
Pull this up again.
Down that loophole, sucker.
Why are you me this campaign?
Can I hold concentration if I'm frightened?
Oh, right. I gotta-
Yeah, anybody who's holding concentration, please make concentration checks.
Great.
Fine. 21.
DC is, see, you both failed, so the DC is 11.
DC's 11.
Yep.
Let me see. And that's just the wisdom saving? Or
it's a-
constitution saving, sorry.
Correct. Constitution saving throw.
No. Where?
It went off your rolling surface.
Yeah. Nope.
Shield of Faith
Yeah.
drops.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I was really looking forward to you being in this.
It's not fine.
This mage has a Siobhan up in their face. Is going to, boy.
Oh no. Oh no.
What can it do? It's oh, it's gonna risk it. Siobhan, you may take an opportunity attack as it backs away from you.
Is she looking at, I can't tell between she, are they looking at me or at the dragon?
At you, because you're in their face.
Okay, can't take an opportunity. Well, can I say something?
You can say it, but I don't know if it's gonna mean anything.
Okay, I said, I'm just gonna say, I think dragon's a bigger problem, lady.
Yeah. It's gonna shoot a firebolt at you.
Rude.
Hateful bitch.
Yep. It is a 16 to hit.
My AC is 16.
Okay,
Yeah.
so go ahead and take. That's a before, so it doesn't count. 5 points of fire damage, which is not reduced. 5 points of fire damage as this firebolt sears into your shoulder. That will bring it to the melee combatant's turn up here in your face, Kira. I take a swing.
Really?
Yeah.
He cares more about being petty to me than this dragon?
You're assuming something.
That's a dirty 20.
I'll cast shield again.
Okay, and so this pole arm comes in, bounces off your shield. Just die already. That will be their turn. That is going to bring it to Mannix. I need you to make a death saving throw, please.
Hey, not 20.
You gain 1 hit point and instantly regain consciousness, and you get your turn because death saves are at the top of your turn.
You're prone.
You're prone, but what would you like to do? You have 1 hit point.
You've had a bad day, maybe.
Best.
Now you know how Bandit felt.
Man,
All the time.
Almost every
pretty
fight.
awesome.
Good lordy, lordy.
Pohaku, you're on deck. Then Garnet.
Ah. You're so mad, give her the benefit of the doubt. Last time. Census.
The mage looks like it's just outside of 60 feet from
Let's
good old Mannix.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40.
50, 55. Actually, 5, 10, 15, 20.
If you were to
25,
take a step
30,
one more space, you'd be
35,
within.
40, 45, 50, 55, 60 is exactly 60 feet away from you. So you could stand up. That would cost half your movement. You'd still have half your movement, and the mage is exactly 60 feet away.
I'm gonna stand up
Yep.
and just get up. Try to get a little further away from the dragon.
That's still within range.
I only moved 1 this way and 2 this way, so. I'm a dissonant whispers, that bitch.
Woo! What's the save on that?
A wisdom. 15.
Ooh, natural 9. That's a failure. Give me some damage.
Oh, damn it. It's further away then.
So 10.
10 points of damage.
10 psychic damage. And was immediately...
Don't worry about the and. As you use this dissonant whispers, you can see her. And she just falls to the ground. And those of you who would have a decent view can see just this blood trickling out of her ear.
She had 10 hit points?
She had less than that.
Oh, wow.
She is no longer part of this mortal coil. Well done, Max. Anything else for your turn?
What, instant kill? Not just needs.
I'm not bothering with death saves.
So he just looked there and he's like, put some respect on my name.
I mean, you can stab your glaive down into her if you want to make sure she's dead for your turn when we get there. I don't care.
There's a fucking dragon.
I'm gonna fucking dragon.
Haku, you are up. Garnet, you're on deck.
And there was a frightened effect that went along with that failure.
You are frightened of the dragon.
So that's both of us.
Um,
Oh, all three of us failed that. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
no, I passed.
You pass.
Okay.
Yeah, if you passed, you're not afraid of it.
Well, can you tell me, I'm sorry, how far away is the dragon from me?
Dragon is, once you're there, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet away.
25 feet away?
Yeah.
It is just outside of that range. I 5 feet closer, and I can do.
Can't get any
I'd
closer to the
rather
dragon.
do. But okay, so that isn't going to work. So instead, oh yeah, that kind of screws. To go with a basic cantrip here. This will be a flavored chill touch. So I'm going to extend my hand here, and just little tendrils are going to come up out of the ground, trying to drain this dragon at disadvantage.
Drain my dragon, baby.
Well, that's a nat 20 and a 3.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you feel like you've got a good lock on this, and as you start to cast a spell, you watch the dragon's gaze, looks over at you, and you just find this moment of terror where the spell ends up dissipating and nothing can happen.
I am also going to just kind of grit my teeth at that, try to take a deep breath, kind of drag my foot into a circle, and kind of get down into a more ready to pose, terrified as I am.
Sure.
And I enter Blade Song.
Love it. At the end of your turn, please make another wisdom saving
That
throw.
was what I was going to ask.
Let's see if I can't do. The blade song stays on my mouth.
Very nice.
Oh, no, that's a good. 19?
You are no longer frightened.
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
So as you enter the blade song, you just find your mind reaching this clarity, and you look at this dragon. And while it is terrifying, you've encountered terrifying things before.
Yeah, that's
You
my
have-
dead chimera.
You have quality allies. You've seen what they can do in combat. And you know your friend Garnet relies on you. You cannot let your fear overcome you.
Absolutely.
And you are no longer afraid. Speaking of Garnet, you're up next.
Yeah, that's constant.
So it looks like Reba's within 5 feet of this dragon?
I sure am.
No, Reba's within
no,
10 feet.
10, you're right.
Because there's a space right here.
That is correct.
Well, that's fine. I will then send a psychic dagger at the guy that Kira's fighting.
Are you frightened?
I'm not.
Oh,
She passed.
Make an attack roll.
Buddy. I think that's 14. Yeah, 14.
You throw aside your dagger and you watch as he just blocks it off with the shield. He's, the fuck am I dealing with?
And then is there anything that I can hide behind, either this side or this side within 25 feet?
Right about here, you can try and hide behind this piece of mining equipment.
Okay, I would like to use my bonus action to try and hide behind
Okay, make a stealth check.
Not okay today. Well, 13.
As you go over there, you watch as the dragon, its head turns slightly, but one of its eyes just follows you the entire way.
Me.
You have a sense it knows exactly where the fuck you are.
What about the guy that Kira's fighting?
He's no fucking clue.
Okay.
That is Garnet's turn. That is going to bring it to Karazura. You are up. Siobhan, you're on deck.
And I'll look this man in the face and just, you should have followed the rules. And I'll use my bonus action to have Umbani give me the help action, so I have
Love it.
advantage on this attack.
Let's make an attack roll.
I think that takes a bonus action.
Commanding your familiar to do anything.
Is it?
I think it's a bonus action,
I'll double check, but sorry, continue.
but regardless,
They
but
have their own turns.
I thought so too.
It's fine for this.
but that's 24 to hit.
Oh, yeah, give me damage.
That is 7 points of damage.
So you all watch as Kira has this moment here, and you feint to the left, and he goes to try and guard there, and you duck down, and just with your shoulders, you get up under his shield, and you push backwards, his shield goes under the edge, and you stab the short sword right up into his guts. Drops his pole arm, which clatters off the edge, and you just watch as
Well, that's too bad.
and he falls to the ground dead. And as you withdraw the blade from his body, you just hear this voice within your head. Yes. Oh, yes.
Whoa, okay.
Thankfully, only in your head.
Yep. And I'll just, so that's something. And I'll look.
It resets your count.
Yeah, and I'll look down at his dead body. Should have followed the rules. And that's my turn.
Alrighty. Siobhan, you are up. Reba, you are on deck. This is no longer an issue.
All right. So, I mean, I have seen the cowardly bitch drop and say, "Serve you right," and then I turn around and I'm ready to defend, and that guy's dead too. So I'm like, right, and I charge up on the dragon.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, you're able to get right up next to it.
And reckless attack.
Love it. Make an attack roll with advantage.
Because I'm fucking reckless.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That's a 12.
12 will not hit. As you're spinning your glaive around, and it just brings its wings in front of it like a shield. And just, you hit sort of one of the bony spines within the wing, not able to find a significant purchase to do damage. Reba, that brings it to you.
Okay.
I'm still taunted anyway, even though my
Of course.
failed.
Yeah.
That's right, you winged fuck.
Love it.
Oh, he's a wiggling dragon.
He's not drink if I think Phoenix is going to talk.
Does this dragon have one big beefy arm on its back?
This sinus pain is brought to you by Liquid Death. Oh, man. Oh,
Ah, yes, sinal carbonation.
carbonated water in the sinuses hurts. Don't do it. It's like falling off a ladder.
Liquid death for your throat and stomach, not for your nose.
Correct. Unless you're into that, which I don't judge. Now, Reba, what are you doing?
If I go up to Mannix, am I going to be out of the dragon's range?
What range?
Or just like, I don't want an opportunity attack to happen. I don't know.
You can get to Mannix without going into what you assume its reach is.
Great. I'm going to go right over here then.
Let's see here. What's the path you took?
So it was here, I believe. And I will.
Now, you go ahead. Yeah, you are going to provoke an opportunity attack.
I am.
Yeah, because you're leaving its range, and you are in its threat range.
So like, even if I'm like right here, I'm out of, yeah.
Yeah, you have to step out of its threat range. So it does get an opportunity attack against you.
But at least you can move that way because you can't. It's not moving
You know what?
closer.
Why not? Yeah, I'm okay
Okay.
with that.
It is going to. I feel like it's it's going to try and bite you. That's natural too.
Fantastic.
That with a total of 9, I don't think it gets you. So it reaches out, tries to bite at you. So this beaked mouth, and it just clamps behind you a bit as you run along.
Fantastic. In a shocking turn of events, I cast Cure Wounds that I did have prepared.
1d8 plus wisdom.
Yeah.
If you remember from our last episode, Reba did not think she had Cure Wounds prepared. But
Hey,
And a
I'm making up
full
for
eight.
lost time. Yeah, so that's gonna be 12.
Yay!
Look at
so
you.
Maddox, you are prone, but you are conscious with 12 hit points.
13.
13.
13.
13. Well, that's
You
right.
got
You're
that
right.
one.
You are
Yeah.
not unconscious because you rolled that damn 20. That was cool.
Yeah.
And I'm not prone either.
No, you're not.
Oh, that would have been up.
But now we've just got a fucking dragon to fight.
I mean, it's just a dragon.
This is fine.
Yeah, badass laying on his back.
That is the,
slinging people's
start of your
heads
turn?
explode.
Yeah, it's gonna be it.
Excellent. That means it's the deep dragon's turn.
No.
No. Why can't it be a shallow dragon?
Yeah, well. Siobhan, go ahead and make an opportunity attack.
I mean, if
This is going to
we're
go
wishing
to
what it
here.
was, wish it was like
Okay. Oh, hell yeah. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, that will very much hit. Go ahead and give me damage.
Nice.
Okay, good. Oh, good. Siobhan damaged it.
Yes, that's 14 points.
Rolled an 8.
Yes.
Nice.
Good.
So you watch as this thing goes to leap away from Siobhan over this area, and Siobhan just spins her glaive around right across its back and it roars out as it leaps away. And you definitely see that your glaive sunk deep into its back near the spine, blood oozing out of it. Definitely a quality hit.
That's Titan Bluff construction, you bitch.
That's right. As it lands here, and you see also this spectral energy come off of Siobhan onto it. You made the hit because you are an ancestral guardian barbarian, which this changes everything with where it's at now. So let's see here. We're gonna start with the bite. It's gonna try and bite you, Pohaku. This is at disadvantage now. Thanks to Siobhan. I don't need to roll again. That was a natural 1. As it goes to reach out, as its mouth, as it comes towards you, Pohaku,
I'm gonna pop it on the snout.
you see this energy come off of
The
Siobhan,
dragon snoot.
and it grabs its upper jaw, pulling it back. And Siobhan, as this happens, you just pull backwards with this glaive, and it's unable to even bite at all.
I am so cool.
We're gonna do claw attacks. First one is at
All
Garnet.
right now.
The disadvantage though, I'm pretty sure it still hits though. It's a 22 to hit Garnet.
Yeah.
No, he needs to re-roll that.
Okay.
I don't know why I rolled. He needs to re-roll.
So, I know we ruled this differently before. I've been reading on Silvery Barbs. With this reroll, it's just this one roll that counts now.
It's
So it's not rerolled at advantage.
It's not a full disadvantage reroll.
right, but if it's higher than the number.
Correct. If I roll higher than my lowest roll, it
It's still
doesn't
the
matter.
lowest roll.
Right. So if this is lower, it overrides.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. It's another 15. 22.
Well, regardless, I am still, so I do that, and again, just begin to kind of bop it on the snout, throwing some sand into its eyes, and then I will take the sand, kind of flows over towards Garnet, and you have advantage on your next
Sweet.
save, attack, or check.
Okay. Garnet, first you can take 8 points of slashing damage,
Okay.
and it still gets one more claw attack.
But what if it didn't?
You know, if it didn't, I'd be disappointed. And since you just cast that spell there, Pohaku, this was going to come to you. This would be a disadvantage because of Siobhan. I'm just going to roll both for my funsies. That would have been a dirty 20, except thanks to Spirit Guardian, it's only an 11. As it tries to reach out, again, its arm is tethered by your Ancestral Guardian power. It's unable to do anything there. But the real question is, does it get its breath weapon back? No. So that is the end of the Deep Dragon's turn, which will bring it to Mannix. You are up. Pohaku, you're on deck.
Meep. Bang.
Oh! Thought I left that spell behind last campaign.
Oh, assuming that I can't.
Yeah. Potential bane.
That's a 6.
Bane.
So you watch as Mannix, wounded and not having the best day, and also having heard some potentially concerning news about his household, looks out to this dragon and just brings forth this eldritch energy, which form. You see these two massive spectral chains form across its chest and around the wings, and it gets briefly pulled backwards by them before it gets back into its hunched down position. But you can see the tautness through the muscle as if it's being restrained by something. Your Bane has unquestionably a significant effect here. Yeah. There's your action. Anything for movement or bonus action. Okay, that comes to Pohaku. Garnet, you're on deck.
Pohaku.
Yeah. So after it has tried to bite down at Garnet and then swiped over at me, yeah. So my head hurts a little from all that psychic damage.
I bet it does.
But he's just going to kind of wipe the blood from his nose and again just going to slam his fists down into the earth. The vines are going to come up underneath this thing.
Okay.
And that is. That's good. That's good. 22 to hit.
That definitely hits. Go ahead and give me that sweet damage.
So that will
Pohaku.
be. Nope, that's the wrong die. Like I got 5 on a D4. That's awesome. So 6 points of piercing.
Nice.
And 5 points of necrotic.
Lovely. So you see these vines come up and pierce into the flesh of this dragon. It just thrashes about amongst the various just arcane punishment it's been given. It's still holding strong, but it definitely doesn't like what it's on the receiving end of.
Arcane Punishment, new band name.
I love it.
And then I follow up with just a dagger, basically, the sharpened tusk
Okay.
with my offhand.
So you're moving up adjacent to it?
Yes.
Okay.
Pardon, I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, that's good. That's 24 to hit.
That'll definitely hit. Give me damage.
This is just 2 points.
2 points of damage.
Piercing damage. Or pardon, yeah, no, piercing. That is non-magical if it matters.
Yeah. So you're able to just find this wound within its scales. Siobhan had cut so deep along its back that as it was thrashing around from just this pain it was in from the various spells, you can see where it comes down on the lower side of the shoulder. And you just stab the sharpened tusk right at that same wound that Siobhan had opened. Cries out in pain. Garnet, you are up.
All right, and I have advantage.
You do.
Kira, you're on deck.
And you're within 5 feet.
I am.
19 to hit.
That'll very much hit. Go ahead and give me that sweet, sweet damage.
12, I think. Yeah, 12 points of damage.
12 points. And this is with a, what is it, a bow, crossbow? What do you,
Psychic blade.
Psychic blade. So you watch as Garnet just takes a look, realizes she's totally spotted behind the piece of mining equipment, and she just stands up, extending her hand outward, this blade coming right off of her hand, piercing the exact same spot where Pohaku just withdrew the sharpened tusk, and the dragon again reels back in agony.
And can I try to sneak on the other side of this equipment and hide?
Okay, so you're going to go this way?
Yeah.
You are going to go out of its threat range, so it is going to take an opportunity attack on you.
Oh, it was within 10.
Yeah.
Is that attack at disadvantage?
It would be.
It would be, yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't mattered for me.
And you're not wrong, Quiddo.
I'll just hit it again.
Yeah.
I don't have advantage on the second one.
Correct, you do not.
18.
That'll still hit. Give me damage.
Yo.
7.
Nice.
Damn.
So again, causing significant damage to the structure of this dragon. It's not having a great day right now. You staying put. Kira, you're up.
Kira's so fucking done with all of this.
I bet he is.
And yes, they didn't follow the rules, and I'm gonna upcast Chromatic Orbit 2nd level.
Ooh, make an attack roll.
And that, it's gonna fucking miss. It's 9.
So you send this out there, and just in your fury, you didn't take time to aim the spell.
I'm gonna spend 2 more sorcery points to quicken. Oh no, I still can't. I can cast it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck
And
it.
so you watch as this orb, it goes upwards just above the dragon, explodes against the rocks above. And all of you take notice this, that Kira is fucking furious.
And I'm gonna move up into melee range with it.
Okay. That is the end of your turn. Siobhan, you're up. Reba, you're on deck.
So we got the sorcerer and the wizard in melee.
Yeah.
Love this.
No, it's not good planning, but it's what we're doing.
This is absolutely what we're doing.
I am once again gonna run up on the dragon.
Okay.
And,
Do you want to get in melee or just where you can reach it?
yeah, 10 feet off. 'Cause that's melee for me.
Yeah.
And reckless attack.
All right, reckless.
War.
Well, that one.
That's not always.
Yes, I got landed in here, but just see if we get the nat 20. We do not, but it's an 18 plus 6.
Oh, that totally hits. Give me damage.
Balls. 8 points of damage.
8 points damage. And again, you cut deep into the flesh of this dragon. And as you take this huge chunk out of its side, you see as some of its blood splatters across the ground below. You would definitely consider this creature bloodied at this point. It's starting to breathe heavy from the combat. At the end of your turn, Siobhan, that's going to bring it to Reba.
Great. I'm going to cast Blessed.
Ooh.
I'm going to target Manix, Pohaku. I've already given you enough. I'm going to then also target Garnet.
Okay, so each of you gets to add a d4 to your attack rolls and saving throws. Hashtag blessed.
Yep.
Anything else for your turn?
I think that's my action. I would like to just go ahead and move a bit further away.
That's fair.
So I'm gonna stick around, and then I'm still within 60 feet of. Yeah.
Fucking range.
Concentration. Thank you much.
It's the deep dragon's turn. Let's see here. It's
I am. I mean, I haven't. Do I roll saving throws for
you're
that?
supposed to roll wisdom save at the end of each
Well,
of your turns.
fuck. I haven't done that at
Roll
all.
one for this turn and one for last turn. So wisdom
Fantastic.
save.
So the highest one was a 12 plus 6.
You're fine. You're no longer frightened.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Okay. That brings it to the deep dragon's turn. It has Bane on it, of all fucking things, and bunch you up in its goddamn face.
Learn by watching you.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Who does it got up there? So we got Pohaku, we got Garnet, and we got Siobhan.
I'm up there as well.
Yeah. I didn't see you, honestly.
It's okay.
I didn't see you because you're like way back here.
You matter. You matter.
The funny thing is I couldn't see you through the wing. Otherwise, I don't know you're there.
I'm not even the rogue, dude.
I couldn't see you through the damn mini. All right. Okay, you know, because you're pop off like that, we'll attack you. You're
Yeah.
welcome. It's natural 20.
Of course, it's the bronze stuff.
Wait. Oh, it's cocked. Damn it. There's another natural 20. Ooh, that's still good. How does 24 hit you?
We gotta roll your bane.
Yep.
Oh, good call. Good call.
Does a dirty 20 hit you?
Not if I cast shield.
And so it tries to bite you, and as it's coming down, you watch as Kira puts up the shield.
My shield is just in the form of a middle finger at this point. I'm gonna scam on this episode.
Cool. Let's see here.
We've got that many.
Oh, we got some claw attacks. Who do we want to try and just thunderfuck the absolute snot out of?
Not it.
Let's take a swing at Pohaku. He's just right the hell there.
Bring it, Happy Feet.
Okay.
Why are we antagonizing the DM?
Dirty 20.
Is that with
Not
the?
anymore.
Oh wait, I gotta roll freaking Bane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Get 19.
19 wood, but I am also casting shield.
So he tries to bring his claw down, bounces off a shield, and gets one more claw attack. Let's time for Siobhan. Natural 20.
No,
No, it's on Siobhan. It's just a regular roll.
it has actually advantage against me because I was reckless. So that
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nat 20.
Well,
Yep, that's how that works.
That maybe doesn't mean you So
never let the internet say we're not honest.
first claw attack. Okay, 7 plus 4, 11. So 5 after being halved. This brings his claw down and rakes across you. Ooh, let me get my breath weapon back. No breath weapon back.
So you would consider Siobhan bloody.
Oh, yeah.
Very bloodied. Yeah.
Darn it.
I'm well behind beyond that. Yeah.
So, Matt,
I'm fine.
you are up, and that makes Pohaku on deck.
We're weird. We're doing a fight, and like through shield, I haven't been hit yet. I'm used to being close to dead all our fights.
Eldritch Blast.
Make an attack roll.
Yeah.
And you're blessed?
Yep.
Yep, so add a d4 to that attack roll.
That's a 22 without the blast.
Don't worry about the blush. Just give me damage.
How do you read those?
The bless would have
I
made it.
have to get to a certain.
The bless would have made it 25.
10.
Nice. As you watch this eldritch energy collide with the deep dragon's body, it's had better days than today. All right, Pohaku, you're up. Garnet, you're on deck.
Smashing the vines into the ground. That is, ooh, not great. 5 plus.
Are you hashtag blessed?
Yeah, that was with the blast.
Oh, good.
Oof.
That is
The best you gotta be.
14 to hit.
14. That's not going to hit.
Baby.
So you try to get the vines up, and you watch as it brings its wings around it, just blocking off everything. And your vines cut into the wings a little bit, but not enough that it really matters. The exterior being very kind of stony and leathery.
I grumble a little bit and then try to stab the tusk into its snout.
Do it.
That's still not great.
Roll your bless?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. Dirty 20.
Dirty. Yeah, that's going to hit. Give me that damage.
One.
Nice. So you go to stab it into its snout. You just kind of poke a little bit.
It's just a hole. Then.
Yeah.
There's that little like dog sneeze where it's just.
Basically. So the Garnet, you are up after that. Karazura on
As
deck.
it gets bloody, I'm going to take steady aim at it.
Do
with
it.
Another psychic blade.
Do it.
It is 21 to hit.
Very hit. Give me all that damage.
You're blessed, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't need it. 13, 17 points.
Nice little.
This thing's looking real damn rough as the psychic blade cuts deep into it. Screams out in pain. You can see multiple seeping wounds on its side. It's trying to keep maneuvering its wings around its body as protection, but you're doing some real damage.
That's it.
Okay. Kira, you're up. Siobhan, you're on deck.
I'm going to have Umbani give me advantage with the help action.
Nice.
And then I'm going to see the short sword in my hand, and I'll say this out loud. You've had enough. And I sheathe the blade, and then I'm going to cast Ray of Frost.
Love it. Make an attack roll.
Are you in melee with it?
Yes, but I have a feat that lets me do it
Nice.
at regular roll.
Also, add your bless.
Wait, you blessed me? I thought you blessed yourself.
No,
I don't remember who I put the rings on anymore.
I blessed you.
I see a natural
Pohaku.
15 from here. So
But that's it's already a 21 without bless.
AC is 16. You're fine.
Yeah. And that is a good 5 points of cold damage.
Oh man, so you just right up close firing this ray of frost into it. It roars back, and you guys can see the rime building on its body, seeping into the various cracks between the scales. It's hurting. It's looking so friggin' rough.
Kira spit some bad lyrics right onto it.
Get-
You know,
did some-
something rhyme.
Very nice. Very nice. Very
You know what? just because I see it's real close to death,
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend 2 sorcery points.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just burn a 2nd level chromatic orb into it.
Do it. Make the roll.
That is a 21 to hit.
Well, do that damage. You can do it now.
Take a hot second.
Finish him.
Wait, the d8s.
What was it? 48.
3. Uh, 16
16
points of cold damage.
60 points cold damage. How do you want to do this?
Yes. After the first, so sheathing the sword, think you've had enough. My right hand is just a little blast of cold damage, while my left hand is charging up just this chromatic ball of ice that I then slam right into the same spot.
Love it. So I don't know how many of you remember the first Mortal Kombat movie where Sub-Zero built up that cold ball before throwing it at the chump stain. You got shattered. You watch as Kira puts out this ray of frost, but his hand slowly building up this complete icy orb until finally you're holding a perfect, about softball-sized sphere of what looks like ice. And then as the orb goes forward, you watch this larger sphere of arcane energy expand outwards off of it. Something becomes translucent, hits against the dragon's body, which goes and explodes in a million directions. The dragon's body being torn asunder, its stony body parts getting iced over and shattering against the rocks on various sides of this corridor. But the deep dragon destroyed and no more.
Next time, follow the goddamn rules.
Did the mage caster, are they still on this bridge or did they fall over?
Their corpse tumbled over the edge.
Oh, bummer.
Ah,
I was going to spit on it a few times.
Oh,
I wanted
what
to
now?
take their
I was gonna
shit.
spit on it a few times. Not just once, a few times.
I wanted to take their shit.
Make a perception or investigation check, your choice.
Both terrible. Investigation is better. That's a nat 2022.
So you look over the edge, and you can see there's like this rocky outcropping that it's got draped across. So you think you try and angle it.
I spit down at it. That's for my bird, bitch.
Love it. Go ahead and I'm gonna call this. We're just making a range attack roll. Just be a range attack roll.
What is that? All right.
Roll for Loogie.
Yeah.
Would I add my dex to that?
Yeah, I did X.
13 to hit.
Good enough. As you right between the shoulder blades, just kind of splats right on the robes.
Can I like rappel down there and investigate the body? I have a pit and then rope.
Yeah, like you have a barbarian in your party that if you and Pahaku's strength is pretty good. If one or the either of them be willing to hold on to it, you could easily rappel down. You're light enough.
yeah, I would definitely agree, and also say, see if you could find some identification,
Sure.
Yeah.
please.
Can I cast guidance on you? So you have.
Please do.
Yeah. I'm gonna cast guidance on you
I
then.
think Siobhan's bloody as fuck, and then also just kind of casually holding the rope, completely taut with one hand.
Oh yeah, 100%. Just one hand with Siobhan. He's just kind of like trying to put some of your hair back in place, and
Yeah, thanks.
trying to pop your shoulder back in place.
If you wouldn't mind, just let me help, and I'll just press to digitate. I just help, like, clean Siobhan up.
It's not the cosmetic I'm worried about. My arse kicked.
Investigate.
Yes, please.
Eight.
Yeah, you don't find anything of significance. You guess that maybe if there was any pouch they had on them that might have worthwhile documents, it probably fell off their body when they landed on this outcropping. Their spine is bent in a way that spines weren't meant to go. So they're very dead and their body is very broken. So you're going, yeah, it's probably however many hundreds of feet below wherever this leads.
What about the other guy?
The other guy is long gone off this perch.
You might as well kick that body further down.
I hold on to the rope and I try to like swing and get some momentum.
You just get your heels right into it, and the body just.
All done.
Thank you.
Well, the only thing worthwhile you found on the body that was worth keeping is 7 gold pieces.
I think we can all agree that these Feckers failed fighting the dragon. I mean,
I was just going to say that they
Sleight of
attacked
hand to
me.
keep it for myself.
Love it.
Coming right for us.
Yeah. I was just going to say that they were coming right for us, and
that's also
Perception
true.
of 9 might have caught that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
because all I wanted was a simple duel to regulate our skill and see what someone of their level was at, and they decided to break the rules.
Does anyone think that they had anything to do with this dragon, since they didn't seem to react at all?
That's what I was wondering too. They just kept fighting us and not giving a second thought to.
I mean, we did kill them really quickly after the dragon showed up because
Did they
fuck
say
them.
something to you about like it being more than just them?
Yeah, they said I was outnumbered, which seemed like posturing, but I guess they counted the dragon too, which
But that's the thing, that would prove a connection with the dragon. In which case, your buddies on the census are
I
up
mean-
to some bullshit.
I wasn't planning on reporting any of this at all anyway.
You don't think you should report corruption within your own system?
Who's he supposed to report it to? If there's corruption,
How likely is
how
it?
can you guarantee that who he goes to ain't the corrupted?
All right, so then what do you propose you do? Continue to just move up the ranks and be a good.
Well, hold on. I mean,
I'm not saying
this
we don't
seems out of.
say this.
I mean, I don't know much about these people, but if this is the organization you're trying to work for, like, do we think they're corrupt or do we think they're post-hoc?
Yeah, I also don't have any idea if they're actually
You've never
in
met
the
them.
census. We saw their symbol,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that they're officially sanctioned.
Kira, give me a history check with advantage, since you have good knowings of how the census operates.
Well, one's going in jail as well. But thanks for the advantage. That's going to be an entire 13.
So, with that, you're not like you're not unquestionably sure on this, but you do have a certain level of this feels a bit out of pocket for census dealings. What do they care about mine anywhere? And
Well, also, if they were
have,
with,
like a dragon of all things.
Yeah.
You don't keep dragons as pets, servants, or anything of the sort. They're to be respected and feared.
yeah,
So
and if they were with Castian, they would have been stronger than this.
that also stands out to you is how weak they were in comparison.
Like, honestly, if they were here with the other census group, they would have been stronger than this. I think they were posing.
They did, however, seem to have some sort of inside knowledge about what was happening in the Empire.
That is interesting.
And they recognized you instantly.
Well,
Did they?
No,
No.
they had all is after the House of Soul was mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay.
they didn't know specifically who I am, which is also a big red flag.
Okay.
Because if they were in the census at all, they would know me just sight.
Which
So-
you would know that considering your father was
Celebrity.
literal celebrity status.
My dad's kind of a big deal.
People know who you
And
are.
so, like, if they're in the census, they would know who I was just on
Right.
sight.
They recognized the soul name, but they didn't. Know
They didn't
who you were
recognize me at
outside.
all.
Okay.
Yeah, the idea of them being either posers or patsies of some sort, you don't get the sense that they would likely be official.
Yeah, there's
Because-
definitely some fuckery going on. Also, if I could beat them if like we could beat them that easily, there is absolutely no way that they would be higher on the totem pole than me in the census. The census, as much as it is political wheeling and dealing, it's also very much based on strength. And like, even just on my own, without all the help that you gave me magically, which I do appreciate, I could have taken those 2 alone.
Well, not the dragon.
Not the dragon, but I could have taken those 2 alone. So there's no way that they would be higher up in the census than I am, just on pure combat merit. So fuck them.
So I wish we could have. I wish they hadn't fallen off the edge. I wish we could figure out what the fuck they were trying to do down here. I don't know if this is what's been causing the problem. I tend to think not.
Should
Dragon can't. It's not big enough to shake the.
Can I get a round of perception checks?
Great.
We need some.
Anybody get 15 or higher?
18.
18.
Both Mannix and Siobhan look at where these two were standing when this encounter started. You could see the boot prints where they stood. And then what you see that strikes you as more significant is another, you can see what looks like more boot prints than probably they were just responsible for in that area. And 2 pairs of boot prints heading off the further direction to a cavern going deeper into the mine.
They seen this.
Yeah, there were more than 2 of them. They weren't bluffing. I mean, not even counting the dragon thing.
What are the chances any of them? I mean, we're still looking for her friends. Could any of those blueprints have been made by him? Do we think these were the ones who?
he would have been able to take them.
Not, I mean, perhaps not with the dragon. No offense. Wait. Okay, as an odd character, do we know what the fuck this guy looks like? Have you told us at some point? I don't even know what race they are. Half-elf. Okay, so.
Any of you proficient in nature? I'd like a nature check.
That's that one.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
14.
I read a lot of books. Also 14.
With that,
He's an Eagle Scout.
you saw the way this dragon's mouth was. You also saw the tearing of the flesh on that hand. You think whoever that hand belonged to may have had a run with this thing.
Oh.
I was curious about that, and I was like,
That's all that's
oh, bitch, well, what kind of idiot?
You're just looking at it, you're going, you're not 100% sure, but you're going, we just encountered this fucking thing. And especially because its corpse is laying here the fucking front of you. And so you're able to kind of look at the mouth and the way just the teeth are, and you're going, yeah, that wouldn't bite clean through. If it was at a joint like the wrist, the bones would just snap and the skin would tear.
Gross.
You're like, yeah, this may have been what did that.
Is it possible at all to grab any scales for armor? Is that a thing?
Not.
Am I just thinking of Dragon Age side quests?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Never mind.
I mean, I'll let you roll a survival check to try and cut a section of dragon scales away. You're gonna have to give me a nature check first. Give me a nature check just to.
Not just the survival check?
No, this is a different thing.
I'll help you.
Thank you.
Yeah, nature check with advantage.
Great. 3.
3? Great idea. Go ahead, give me a survival check.
All right, thanks.
Yes.
13.
13. You. What are you trying to cut it with? What do you have that's got a blade on?
That's a great
Are
question.
you using your mace?
Just give it the beats.
It's helping it molt.
Do you have anything with an edge on?
Oh man, that is such a good question. I have a mace. I have crossbow bolts, and I have a shield that I could just sort of scrape. You like tanning a pie.
So you know what you could do is, but you're gonna need something different than that.
My intelligence is also very low.
Yeah, I think you and I are both holding things out.
None of you have any idea why the fuck Reba is just clobbering the side. You kind of think like, oh, she's just frustrated from this entire encounter. And Reba,
Couldn't get armor.
as you clobber it a bit, you finally
I was gonna get a new coat.
and you look at just the way that it's kind of been clobbered inward, and you realize two things quickly. One, you would need a more mature dragon than this to try and build any sort of dragon scale armor. And two, you have no idea how you would harvest / collect the scales as needed from such a beast. But you've left this lovely indentation in its side and just caved part of its rib cage inwards.
I don't mean to beat a dead dragon.
It's got this almost hammock shape to it now.
To join you on it. So, question: she is doing this. Pohaku is thinking of two things.
Yeah.
He may. One, I do recognize this is a small dragon.
Yep.
I would like to see how many teeth I can pull to essentially. My weapon is essentially a paddle with shark teeth on it.
Yeah.
Could I make one with dragon teeth?
Maybe.
Just for funsies.
Give me a survival check.
I would like to help him.
Oh, you're too busy. Clobber,
Okay,
clobber, clobber.
fair enough. You don't think that's helpful? I could
Nope.
be knocking some teeth loose.
Don't let me give him this.
Not helpful.
Well, that's pretty good. I've got a -1 to it, so 19 or 18.
Okay, okay.
Yo.
You realize like some of the front like incisor or canines also, they'd be a little big for what you need. So
Okay.
you're about to go there and like, no. So you move a little further back on the jaw. And you take the butt end of your weapon and you go crack it until you hear some crunching happen, and you just pull up the friggin' jowl on this thing.
We are
and
precision artisan.
you have 5 broken dragon teeth.
And Maddox was gonna.
Do I know enough about how these type of dragons behave to be able to determine if it was just under the thrall of the two or if it was acting maliciously of its own intent?
Ooh.
And I did have a second thing too, but yeah, go to it.
Get after it.
Give me a nature check. What's your second thing?
The second thing was, either way, I'm happy to do this. Either a tooth or claw with the intent of just turning it into a pendant.
It could be too big.
Claw would be too big. Tooth would be doable. You think of some of the tooth shards you got, you can make it into a pendant.
Okay.
That's no problem.
14.
14? This type of dragon you don't know anything about.
Okay.
You've heard of deep dragons before, like under mountain, under dark dwelling dragons. Heard of them, but very little is known about them
Got it.
because they're subterranean. You do also know that chump stains like this, what you do know about most dragons, you usually have to be stronger than this to have a dragon as your commander thrall. No just generic ass soldier has that. That doesn't necessarily mean they aren't part of a larger conglomerate
yeah.
that may have this dragon serving them. And for all you know, they were at the behest of the dragon. But those two,
Not thing 1 and thing 2.
correct. They certainly were not the ones in charge of this dragon. You're going, no way, would never happen. Unless they raised a wormling from birth. But even then, it would have had a complete protective nature towards them. And in battle, they all seem to be operating as their own independent entities.
Cool.
All right, so you're the dragon expert, so I can't get scales off of this. But you were talking about molting earlier, and I just feel like if we found where it last molted, I could get new armor.
Have you seen when a snake molts?
Yeah.
It's not exactly the most durable of materials.
As Siobhan says that, you kind of go, oh yeah. Like when a snake molts, that...
Yeah, but snakes are like this and dragons are like that.
I'm telling you what you realize.
It's still not.
Does the dragon fit into the bag of holding?
You want to try?
That's one thing to keep
Try.
in mind as well. Dragons are a little bit mystical and magical in nature. So there's a certain amount of...
That's why I want to wear one.
Right.
Also, I'm just throwing it out there.
That's why I want to wear one.
I'm just throwing it out there. We were able to beat this one So its natural hide probably ain't gonna be much use to you.
Yeah, it looks like a dent's.
All right, all right, all right.
Now, out of character question, did y'all that recognize the teeth connection to the hand, did you say this or did you just notice this?
I've said it.
Okay. Now, this might be completely useless. I don't know if I want to say it in front of you, but should we cut open its stomach to see if
Yeah.
he's inside?
Yes.
Oh,
That's fair.
Reba, this has an edge on it.
So you don't need to roll with it. You don't need to roll with it. Between all of you working together, this
The
is
whole time.
full on Richard Dreyfuss in Jaws, cutting the creature open to see if there was someone inside. You pull some remnants of various small creatures out, and even one construct looking thing. You're like, the blue shit is this? And yeet that over the side as it's mostly mangled and nothing of interest. You don't find anything that looks like it could have belonged to a full adult-sized humanoid within this creature's stomach.
Okay.
If it is in fact the one that bit off Hamir's hand, it did not consume the rest of his body. So
That is something.
well,
Good idea.
can I say that I've been kind of keeping an eye out? Because I saw which direction the footprints went.
yeah,
So I've been kind of keeping a watch eye in that direction while all this.
you haven't seen anything as far as like bodies that belong to a humanoid or a creature, but every now and then you see this very, very faint just of light. So swell and then it fades. It's not consistent in its timing, so it's very intermittent, and it's very, very faint. But so wherever the source is, it's gotta be a ways down that way. But every now and then you sort of see this.
So I'm keeping an eye on it, but I'm not saying anything while
Sure.
they're.
Love it. Love it.
Should we keep on then and see if we can find Hamir
I mean,
since he's not in there?
I'm all right to keep on, but also I've used up most of my magical strength for the day. But I haven't been hit yet, and I can still fight about it.
I'm pretty hurt, but this is important. We can keep going.
Also pretty hurt. I don't know how much use I'm gonna be for how long.
And can we tuck up in like, maybe a little bit further back?
If we could take a short rest.
Maybe like take
Eat
a
snack,
little break
take
for a
rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
snack break.
You feel like you could, rescind back up this incline. Because again, the incline's not so sharp that you don't feel like you could move up it. You'd be moving slowly, but you'd call it rough terrain going upwards. So you go back to that upper 5-pointed area where you came down this way, and there were the two dead ends, as well as the path going up behind you to take a short rest. While you're taking a short rest, before anybody rolls any hit dice, who's keeping watch during the short rest, or
Can one rest and watch?
you can rest while you're keeping watch. It's
Yeah.
just you need to be doing close to no activity for an hour for a short rest to happen.
I'd basically
I
be
can do that.
watching and like cleaning my blade.
Yeah,
I'll be a part of that as well.
Cool.
But before we actually start to hunker down and rest, I'll reach into my backpack and pull out a good bundle of incense and hand it over. I figure you might want to take some time to bring Pueo back.
Oh,
That's nice.
that'd be nice of you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's mostly my fault.
So, any of you?
no.
Oh, sorry.
It was her.
Fair enough.
Well, that one down there.
I respect her very much.
She was a piece of shit.
Agreed.
Any of you that are keeping watch, and that's all of you. That's fine. I need perception checks from.
16.
13.
I can also, if
It's
I can
up to you.
still do it. Well, no, if I can still do a short rest, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you can do a short rest.
I get.
You could potentially do a short rest. It all depends on what happens here.
Okay, so we can't, this is not rolling dice yet.
15.
So the 15 and the 16. Reba and Siobhan, you're sort of checking in with each other as you two know each other the best in terms of your pairing amongst this group. And while you're taking this rest, all of you sort of sitting around, having a little food, some water, cleaning your blade, making sure you have everything all together. You hear this sound, and you see this small creature flying in towards you, claws at the ready. And all of a sudden, an arrow pierces it through the chest, and it gets pinned up between some of the stones. And stepping out from one of the dead-end corridors, you see a bow is attached to a wrist by a metallic connection. And coming out of the shadows,
Oh my.
dried trickle of blood coming from the crown of his head, matting his hair. You, Garnet, instantly recognize Hamir. It's about, you should keep your wits about you. He looks at you. Hi.
I run up and give him a hand.
He gives you a hug. Just I can only hold you with one hand right now. The other one's kind of missing, but
Found it.
oh, that's great. I don't know if I need it anymore. This is working all right. You can see where he's got his belt looks like it was tied around this metal fastening. You see bits were crudely fashioned together, probably from scraps left by mining groups, as the handle of his bow, his wrist stump, is completely affixed into it. And you can see there's actually a couple screws or bolts that go right into the wrist through the metal. I don't know, it might be kind of an upgrade. What do you think? It's pretty cool, this idea I'm always armed, right? Sleeping is really weird, this thing. I'd hold it against my chest. You didn't ask. You okay, kid?
Yeah, we're here looking for you.
Found me. How you doing? Hey, watch out. There's like this earth tunnely dragon thing about. It took.
Yeah, we killed it.
Just points at.
Hold out my hand with the teeth and offer him one of them.
It's all good. You fuck it up good, kid.
You know. Hey, I learned a new trick.
What'd you learn?
So I can like send little blades, like daggers, but with my mind.
I knew you were special. I've always known you would be special. You know that, right?
You told me.
Yeah. Well, I'm always right. You know that too, don't you?
I do.
Well.
Ohaku looks at this guy with the bow
Yeah.
bolted into
Yes.
his wrist, and is just kind of like watching mouth agape.
Oh, hard save.
Looks down at his champ, and just like shaking his head in awe of this figure.
Yeah.
So, who are your friends?
Well, this is Pohaku, the champion of Harmony Creek.
Oh, they do that tournament thing this year? Shit, I missed it. I was going to enter that. It's all good.
Ohaku takes the belt.
No, man. You keep
That is
You keep that shit.
you.
You
with
wait
the
until you
bolt up.
work with him.
Did you do that?
I mean, you do what you have to do sometimes. No, you keep that shit. Yeah, I won't lie. It fucking hurt.
I bet.
This is why. Remember, I told you this kid never travel anywhere without a flask of booze, because sometimes you need something to kill the pain. I won't lie. It hurt a lot. I'm so glad there's nobody I knew here to hear me when I screamed when I did that. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a permanent fixture the way it's built, but when I get back home, well, not home. I'm going a little south. I'm going to the Flying City. I'm going to Gizmopolis. I know a couple artificers there. We're just going to get this turned into a permanent bow because I kind of like it.
Not Ash.
I kind of like it. It's fucking efficient. Hey,
I mean,
Who
maybe
ne-
you
who
could get
need-
some like different attachments.
maybe who needs two hands? Fuck it.
Can't tell if cure wounds would make this better or worse.
Well, I mean, you can only way to find out. I'm doing all right though. I'm doing all right. I got some rest. Hi. So it's Bahaku. Who are you?
Reba,
Hi.
Rotgut,
Reba Rocka. Nice to meet you. So Rocka, why do they call you that?
family business.
Oh no shit, you bootlegger?
You betcha.
You carrying?
I don't think I am at the moment, actually.
Well, you've got some tea.
Shit.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. Oh, I've got. Oh boy. Not nothing of the alcoholic variety, but I do have some fermented troll leaf, if that would do the trick.
Listen, if you are sharing fermented troll leaf once we're no longer underground, I will totally get fucked up with you.
Awesome.
This is like a great time. You did not hear me say that, Garnet. Like your folks would just fucking. Thank you. I know they don't understand that you're an adult. I get it, but you know how they are. So, yeah, no, really, you, me, Reba, Rocka, we're friends now. This is awesome. I'm so glad I met you.
Rad.
Fucking rock. Garnet, you make the best friends. You got a champion, someone who's
really
crazy.
do.
Meant to troll leap. I can't wait to meet everybody else. You looked over at Kira. Who are you, man?
He's gonna love Gandalf.
Krasra Olario.
Cool. What do you do?
I fight injustice wherever I can.
You know, damn. You got anything cool?
I mean, I've got him and Umbani just up on my shoulder.
Oh,
I thought you were pointing at me.
Absolutely not.
no. Birds are cool, man. That's
Yeah,
like,
it's a
wait, is that pet bird? Is that like magical bird shit?
magical bird shit.
Ah.
And I bring all the
Dancing lights?
the dancing lights over.
Oh, cool. Okay, I can dig that. I can dig
Garnet
that.
will lean over. He's chasing the ghost of his father.
Oh, no way.
You ever heard of Tyree Bolt?
Wait a minute.
Yes.
You Tyrese kid?
I am.
I know Tyree. I ran from him once. It's a good thing he wasn't actually chasing me, or I'd probably be dead. But I thought he was, because somebody I was drinking with, he was hunting and he busted into the bar we were at, and he just stared at our table and started spouting various stuff. I don't remember any of it. I was very drunk and I was scared, so I ran. I'm not the one he was hunting. Thank goodness. I tripped over my own boots. That sucked. But yeah, that's the closest I got to meeting him. Was like I saw him, like, whoa, hey man, I'm sorry about your dad. Like I heard he died working. That sucks, man.
Yeah.
I suck with words, but I mean it when I say
No,
it. I'm sorry.
I get you.
That's hard.
I just wish that even with that succinctness, you know about as much as I do.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry. Hey,
Just real quick, I just you probably already know,
what was that?
but talking about how you can't really remember much next time. If I can recommend,
Yo,
in between your drinks, if you were to take a liquid death in between, you might find yourself in significant.
We are trying so hard.
I hear it works wonders. I don't know where I heard it from. but-
that's some good wisdom right there.
YouTube is not going to let us do this.
He'll look over to Mannix. Hey, is he old or something? Like, what's
No, he's just been bitten a lot by a lot of things today.
What's up with Captain? Yo, Captain Narcolepsy. What's
Oh,
going
just
on, man?
let him sleep. It's
No,
better that way.
better
He's a noble from the Empire, and I take a look to just make sure that he's definitely asleep and not faking it. Do I roll an insight check?
No, he's really asleep.
Okay.
He's passed the fuck out.
Hey,
As
Mirror's gonna go-
soon as everybody said, we're taking watch, he's like, I'm going to bed.
Haybeer goes up and gives you a wet willy. Hey,
Who the fuck are you then?
I'm not saying no. I asked that first, but you were asleep. I mean, my dude.
Yeah, they were keeping watch so I could catch some shut-eye for,
Well, you're awake now. Who are you, bro?
It's Haymer, his friend. We found him.
Oh.
He found
Yeah,
us.
this is the guy that we
Yeah. His longbow attached to his wrist, yo.
So you went with a longbow I see there.
Well, I mean, it's what I'm best with. What?
It's,
He looks you over. No, with those arms, I don't know if you really could do it. Oh, good, man. Just don't.
how do you wipe with that?
Kira just laughs out loud.
Carefully, man. Real carefully.
Yeah. I can only imagine
Well,
going through doors is a bit of a
The upside is I'm left-handed, so I'm okay. But
Are you left-handed or are you now left-handed?
no, always was. Thank goodness.
Sinister. Very nice.
Kira is doubled over in laughter because that wisdom saving throw was nothing.
But so, dude, like I'm asking all of Garnet's friends what they do, what they're about, what you do, bro. What makes you special? Like all
Everything makes me special.
Oh, what? What's good about this one, Garnet? 'Cause-
He's a wizard that knows Eldritch Blast.
no way. You do like eldritch stuff, but you study books and shit. That's cool.
Taps his tome. Yep. All in the book from where I learned stuff.
Make a deception check.
Can I join on that?
Yeah, I would also like to join in.
26.
26. Jesus. Make an insight check. Make an insight check. DC's 26.
All right, all right.
I mean, well, let's see what we get. This could be hilarious. Yeah, that is exactly what I was hoping for.
What?
Yeah.
That's a 0.
Yeah.
You're a wizard, man.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. I've heard about sort of like cross study and stuff. That's pretty bitchin'. All right. Yeah, you're legit. Looks over at Siobhan. So, what about you there, Burly Badass? Like I can see the gun show going on. So, what do you do?
I
Break spines, break hearts, and kick fucking ass, right?
My name's Siobhan.
Hey, cool.
Bye.
Good name.
Thank you.
She wears her sunglasses at night.
Yeah.
So she can.
What do you put in like sunglasses? Like you're underground. There's no real light down here.
A force of habit. My eyes are sensitive.
It's just for looking as cool as she is strong.
Yeah, really. What's up with your eyes? Like I'm seeing, like it looks like something's happening behind those glasses.
Oh, no, I don't know what you're talking about. It's a trick of the light.
All right, you can be secretive. I get it.
She's 100% blushing.
I get it. You're pretty. You're cool. You don't got to say everything about everyone. That's rad. Hey, your blade there, Glaive. That's pretty sweet. Those are kind of hard to wield, yo.
Oh, well, I've been practicing with it for a long time.
No way. Like that exact one.
Yeah, my dad made it, so.
Oh, really? Your dad's a blacksmith? That's cool.
Yes, you familiar with the Finnegans?
With the Finnegans. That's funny. He reaches behind his back and he holds up a dagger, and you, Siobhan, would instantly know the craftsmanship on this. It's just this amazing Damascus blade. Yeah, I know Finnegans, man.
And she'd have to take off her glasses because she would be more distracted with her dad's work and not as embarrassed. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
safe now.
Yeah, you know, I bought this from Colin Finnegan himself. He's a good dude.
May
Yeah, and he takes the point of it and extends it towards you.
do I recognize it?
You look at it, and yeah, you remember when your dad was working on this. This was handful. Like, this was years back that he had this big Damascus phase. Not so much him, but everybody wanted.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted Damascus blade, so he was doing a lot of them. And so you look at it, you're like, yeah, I remember when he made this.
Yes, would I have helped, or would I have been too young?
The only reason you wouldn't have helped is his process on Damascus, because it's so specific when he's doing each step.
Well, by help, I mean I'm probably like working the bellows.
That yes, you think there's a good chance you worked the bellows on this one, but nothing beyond that.
So I say, oh yeah, he was making these back in whenever.
Yeah, you're like he's making them about 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, he was making these about 3-4 years ago. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it's about when I bought it.
Like, I'm adopted, clearly. But
Well, it's still fucking cool. He's the shit. And he takes the blade back and he says, "Well, Lady Finnegan, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance."
not a lady. Anyway, so
Whatever.
Should we
Sounded cool.
fix it?
Well, what Siobhan's trying to say and tripping over her words a bit is,
Yeah.
why don't you take a break with us while we keep watch together, and then we'll get you back up to the surface.
Right. We met up with your companions.
Oh shit! No way.
Yeah, say the
Cool.
names.
Yeah. Oh
Which
man.
I have here,
Yeah.
right?
And then you would all remember that they were going to be heading down that other path not too long after you. So you would realize if you took a short rest and if you sent Hamir back up the way you came, there's a good chance he would rendezvous with them. Well, you would be able to continue your descent to see what else waits down here.
I mean, he's been hurting down here for a few days, probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we gonna investigate further down?
An escort quest to me.
I mean, it's really up to you, because I mean, we came down here just.
How, like, much travel was it between there and here? Like, hour or 2 hours?
Maybe about that. And hey, appreciate that I ran across y'all. I don't know if you're planning on going further down, but I overheard some shit that doesn't sound great. You two, you got that Imperial look about you, so sorry if I'm coming across a bit of a dick here, but there were some other fuckers I saw from the shadows. Yeah, they had a real Imperial look about them. They said that there was... They said they hadn't found anything like this since the plateau.
The plateau.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that means.
I do.
What the fuck does that mean?
They think there's an arcane source to reservoir.
Oh shit, really?
Probably. I mean, I guess the name of the plateau where whatever source was found about 22 years ago, it would be common knowledge.
It would be common knowledge that an arcane source, but the plateau is just nameless. They just say that there was one found on a plateau, like within the mountains. Like, it was strange that there was this plateau or mesa-like landmass within a mountain district, because usually that's very jagged and craggy. So for something that flat, it was super unique. But that area itself doesn't have a name. It's just known as one of the arcane reservoirs.
Can I roll? What would I know about arcane reservoirs?
You don't need to roll anything. You would know that they are part of the lifeline of the planet in terms of arcane power, and what comes up from them is just untapped and potentially limitless arcane resources. It's well known that ever since the Thanamirian Empire discovered one within their territory, their technology improved by leaps and bounds. The only other one that's known of is within the Mountain Dwarves' home mountain of Stonespire, and that one is by what's called the Eternal Forge, which is forged many magical weapons and armor. So one who controls an arcane reservoir has the power of potentially controlling magical enhancements, if that's what it is. But it is part of the life of the planet itself. So that's just what I know from them. Yeah, if you guys are chilling here for a little bit, I'd love to have a snack. catch a breath, drink a little more water. Canteen's getting real dry.
Yeah, and Siobhan would, after she said the thing about the plateau, and everybody was like, what? It's like, right. Well, the reservoir that was discovered bless you,
Bless you, puppy.
round about the times I was born, I've heard of it, but I've not been there, obviously. It's in the Empire and all. Yeah, I've heard tell it was a plateau in the middle of a mountain range and stuff that he said. And so if that is the plateau they're referring to, I'd say it's another powerful arcane source.
Well, shit.
It would explain the interest from your people.
Yeah, there's a chance that some of them wearing our emblem aren't exactly legitimate.
If that's the case, I would kind of encourage you all to check them out sooner before later. But give me enough time to. You guys got any food on you?
I mean,
Reach
rations.
into his backpack, yeah.
That'll do. I've gotten real hungry. Look.
Actually, you know what? I've almost definitely packed me a sandwich.
Oh, shit.
So I would offer him half of the sandwich.
And so, as Hamir sits and takes this short rest with you all having a bite, he makes it clear he's going to plan to head back topside, but he's encouraging you all to go deeper. One, give yourself the benefits of a short rest. You can expend hit dice to heal, and if you get any abilities back on a short rest, Mannix, I'm looking at you as you get spell slots back. Warlocks, lords of the short rest.
Warlock, what are you talking about? He's a wizard.
I know.
Wink.
If I am using that time to bring back Cleo, would I also, so A, would I get the short rest, and B, would I also be able to use Arcane Recovery?
I'm going to say yes, because you can take an hour and 10 minutes. I think your allies would be like, hey, we can spare an extra 10 fucking minutes for you to get your familiar back.
What's another 10?
Yeah. So take a short rest, and that's also, I think, a great place to put a button in it and leave off, as you have found Hamir and now know there is potential concerns deeper down this path. But we'll deal with that next time as you decide what to do next with your actions. Thank you all for watching, and we will see what chaos awaits.
Oh.
Okay.